Hey, it's Maria from Still Dreaming Homestead. It has been a little while since I have been back on, at least very much. Um, and so I wanted to I'll explain a little bit about that later, but I wanted to just kind of show you around and see what's going on. Behind me, I'm sure you can see, I have a beautiful trumpet vine. So I'm going to take it off my face now and let you see what that is. Okay, so I just think these are so pretty. Took a long time for this yellow one to get going, but eventually it did. It's just really beautiful. There's some pollinators on it. I also have the traditional orange one. I just think they're very pretty. Now I'm doing a little close-up shot in here just so you can see the honeybees, but look, this is a reason that you don't plant these right up by your house. If you can see, it's very sweet and the ants love them, so never up close to your house. The koi are doing nicely after the disaster that we had with the losing the one. I didn't like that very much, of course, but they're doing nicely now. Even putting up with the dog who thinks that's her personal drinking fountain. I've been working at getting them to understand when they see my shadow or when they see me, it's feeding time. Yeah, they're just doing a lot better at that now, figuring it out, and this way I can get to see them better. Check out these Italian plums. I'll put my hand there so you can kind of get an idea of the size of them. They're really growing, doing beautifully. Our lawnmower is broken down, so we have lots of tall, lush grass right now, which is kind of nice. Some things are growing in it that are good for the bees. But this plant, way excited. Look at the blooms on our pomegranate. And I can see right here is a pomegranate fruit starting. The pollinators love this. I've actually never seen this tree or bush so loaded. It's a bit windy, but hopefully you can see this. This is a persimmon, Fuchsia persimmon. So they are setting. That's exciting. We also have some peaches on. Really nice. More peaches, even though this tree doesn't look particularly healthy, it's providing peaches. Just check out how tall this grass has gotten in such a short period of time. I'm enjoying the neighbors' flags. There's so many of them. I have to figure out what they all mean. This Hales almond tree is just simply loaded this year. I mean, amazing. Got a lot of, I think they're called water sprouts need to be taken down. But okay, I have got to figure out how I'm going to be able to crack these nuts open. It just wasn't successful at all last year, so if you have some ideas, let me know. They are super hard. The mullein plant is doing beautiful. So we use this for a tea. Helps with upper respiratory issues. It's a bit of a shame this year that we were unable to harvest so many of the cherries, but as they fall, the chickens get them, and that's a good thing. The chickens do enjoy when I pick a few of the cherries for them that have dried out, and they also enjoy this nice cool spot. So I've dropped some cherries to the ground for them. Okay, I don't know how well this is going to show because I've got a big reflection, but check this out. This is from our hazelnut tree. It is just loaded also this year. So you can kind of see, according to my hand here, there. Sometimes people call these filberts. This really is loaded. I'm excited just to see so much of it. This tree has grown so much from last year. Beautiful. Okay, I don't get too close to this beehive because it's what you call a hot hive, meaning that the bees are very aggressive. I see that they finally drank down that sugar water I put out for them. Strange, they don't really seem to care much for it, and I just assumed they didn't have to depend on it, but it was to give them a little helping hand. Go a little closer so you can see them. I'm zooming in, I'm not going closer. They are just really active. So what a hot hive is, it is a very aggressive hive. So if at any time they begin hitting me, that's the first warning, just running into me, I'm out of here. I hope later this week on a cool morning to check them and see if they need some more frames. I haven't walked out this way in a while, underneath the really big apple trees, and I see they're doing their own thinning. They have to do their own thinning because they're too high. Take a look at this. This is going to be a serious crop. Good grief. Harvest tons of these. This tree we pruned so heavy this year, and it seems like it's saying thank you. They're not a bad size already. They're beginning, so you can kind of see the size. Beautiful. The second tree is equally loaded. Loaded. There goes the wind. These trees are so old. I'll show you something kind of cool. Look at what's been done to their bark. I'll unzoom this so you can see it clearer. I think it's a little woodpecker that does this. You'll be able to see up here this gigantic branch that we took out this year. Literally became some firewood. A few peaches on this little surviving bed of this tree. I'll back up and you can see there just is not much left of it. This tree is an amazing survival story. Though it's just about gone now, we could learn a lot from this tree and how to keep going even when things are tough, if things seem almost impossible, if we're not able to do what we used to be able to do, just keep going. Yay! I have quite a few figs on. So hopefully they will ripen in time that I can enjoy some of them. Figs are interesting in the way that they are pollinated. A little bug will actually fly up or crawl into the opening at the end, and that's how they are pollinated. Oh, they're so sweet. We had that terrible heat wave that I told you about, and it cooked my boysenberries. We're still going to get some, and I'm thankful there are lots of nice blackberries around as well. But it sure did cook the vines. They are good though. They are good. Looks like I need to get these picked. This morning early, I got up and made a boysenberry cobbler though. So they're certainly not all getting wasted, but you can see this was not from lack of water. This was from the intense heat that we had. They did not appreciate 123 degrees. This is so pretty. We're in the middle of our old compost pile. Pollinators are just taking advantage of whatever they can find. Girls are at work. And here's another one. Hey. Lots of pretty eggs. That's a nice picture. It's always interesting for the chickens to check out whatever's been thrown in the compost. Whether it's an old squash or they really don't care. Just whatever's been thrown out there, they're happy to see if it's anything interesting. Little baby ducks. Out of the 7 we had, we now only have 2 that stand predators. And they're wanting to get out, but they're having a hard time. But we'll move away. The mamas are quacking encouragingly. And my Delaware hens are getting large enough that won't be too long, and I think they'll begin to lay. The hydrangea blossoms are really quite small this year. Not quite sure why, but they are small. This one was supposed to be a bicolored one. It's supposed to have pink on it, but I sure don't see any pink on it. And this one here is beautiful, rich colors, but again, small blossoms this year. Well, it is hot out here, so I'm going to head inside and we can finish the video there. Oh, it is so much nicer in here. So I thought I'd show you some of the canning I did the other day. Haven't taken it out of the boxes I placed it in yet. I'm always slow at putting up canning. So here I have 6 jars of raspberry syrup, it looks like. 6 jars of tart cherries. I had 4 jars of tart cherry juice, but one was given to a friend that had some gout. 3, 6, 9, and 10 jars of strawberry syrup. So that will go on some pancakes, could go on ice cream, could flavor some lemonade if we want. I was just noticing that the jam didn't set very well. And good grief, I was pretty careful to follow the directions. Okay, well, like I said, it feels so much better in here. I have no idea how hot it is. I imagine it's close to 100 degrees out there again already. We've been really having unseasonably hot weather. Been really good for some things. When it cools off, I can show you some of the things I've been doing in the garden. Tomatoes are growing great. In fact, I have some Roma tomatoes on. I have potatoes ready to harvest. Harvested garlic already. Onions will soon be ready. So I'll show that to you all later. So this last week was kind of a hard week for me. I had a dear friend named Ruth, very sweet, and 95 years old. A strong lady. She used to be a Rosie the Riveter. She was so tiny they actually put her inside the wings to do her work. Anyhow, she developed lung cancer. As far as I know, never a smoker, but who knows with all the jobs she held, what all she was exposed to. So she began a very rapid loss in the last couple weeks. And so I spent the last 2 days of her life with her. And it was interesting in that she would go in and out, of course. But when she would be conscious, and I would talk to her, half the time she would gather up that strength to smile through everything. And I would tell her she loved me, and she would tell me she loved her too. So I guess my message with this is life is short, whether it is a day or whether it is 95 years, it's short. Cherish the time that you have with friends and family, strangers, which are simply potential friends we hadn't met yet. Always remember people first, and always remember to try to do more and give more than you take. Also, because of some other recent losses I had, I determined this time that I was not going to, if at all possible, have regrets of not going in and seeing my friends and spending time with them. Didn't really matter what was going on in my life at that time. I wanted time with them. I wanted them to know they were important. That was very much the case with Ruth. And the Lord blessed me with those final 2 days. They were hard. I won't say they weren't hard, because they were. And I will miss her. She laughed so easy, and I want to learn to laugh more easily. Anyhow, I think that's just where I'm going to close for now. Phone is ringing, of course.
Call from Spencerwood.
I want to pray blessings on you and yours, and whatever you do, wherever you are, just keep dreaming. God bless.